Are the Phoenix Suns actually this good? Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks. Is this a team that the rest of the East should be taking seriously? Russell Westbrook plays against his former team, the OKC Thunder, for the first time. We've got that plus so much more to talk about today. So without any further ado, yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee. Hope you are all having a fantastic day from whichever part of the world you are watching this. Before we begin, go ahead and make sure that you guys smack that like button, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on more videos like this every Monday through Friday. Make sure you stay up to date with the NBA, people. You don't want to get left behind. This is going to be a crazy season. Now though, with all of that being said, let's just get right into this video. Just a week ago, if you were to tell me that the Phoenix Suns would have played 47 minutes and 59.6 seconds of great defense against a team like the Utah Jazz, I would say that you'd have to be on something. I would say that that isn't possible. We're talking about a Phoenix Suns team here. No Phoenix Suns team in recent NBA history has ever been known for playing any lick of defense, and I'm even talking about back when Steve Nash used to play. Even back then, the Phoenix Suns didn't play any defense. And now we're up here talking about the Phoenix Suns coming into the season as one of the best defensive teams in the NBA so far. You guys know they beat the Los Angeles Clippers over the weekend. The Phoenix Suns beat the Los Angeles Clippers using defense. The Clippers are supposed to be one of the best defensive teams in the league. They are one of the best defensive teams in the league, as well as one of the best offensive teams in the league. And the Phoenix Suns were able to beat them. I don't care if the Los Angeles Clippers didn't have Paul George, because the Phoenix Suns didn't even have DeAndre Ayton. And then you look at last night against the Utah Jazz. The Phoenix Suns lost. The Phoenix Suns lost 96-95, but that's where that .4 comes in. Like I've been saying, the Phoenix Suns played 47 minutes and 59.6 seconds of great defense. That last .4 seconds disappeared when Devin Booker accidentally or mistakenly came down to the arms of Donovan Mitchell in the closing seconds. Mitchell hitting a free throw and winning the Jazz the game. Despite that though, you can't help but to feel somewhat proud of this Phoenix Suns team, even if you're not a Phoenix Suns fan, because this is a team who for the longest time fans have just wanted to see start winning games. If not winning games, at least competing in the games. There haven't been many games in the past few years you've been able to watch a Phoenix Suns game and it be a close game from tip-off till the final buzzer. That hasn't happened very often, and so far this season, that's been nothing what's been happening except for the times when the Phoenix Suns have been winning. And then you remember that DeAndre Ayton isn't playing for this team right now, which, like I said in the previous video, is a big deal. It's a big deal because if the Phoenix Suns would have had DeAndre Ayton, they could be 3-1 or 4-0 right now. The games they lost, they didn't lose by much. And DeAndre Ayton is for sure that offensive threat that will push them over the edge. He gives them that second option to throw the ball to when Devin Booker's shot might not be falling. When the offense stagnates a little, you got DeAndre Ayton right there ready to make a play. That would have been huge, especially last night against the Utah Jazz. So it really sucks for the Phoenix Suns that DeAndre Ayton isn't going to be available for them for the next 23 games now. Overall though, I'm really interested to see if this Phoenix Suns team can keep playing the level of defense that they've been playing. If they do, this could be a year for the Phoenix Suns similar to the year that the Sacramento Kings had last year. The other most exciting team in the league right now though has to be the Atlanta Hawks. Similar to the Phoenix Suns, the Atlanta Hawks also lost their game yesterday. They lost to the Philadelphia 76ers, 105-103 the final score. Joel Embiid extremely dominant in this game with 36 points and 13 rebounds, while on the other hand, Trae Young had 25 points and 9 assists. 19 of those points coming in the first half alone before the Philadelphia 76ers made their adjustments. And even though the Atlanta Hawks lost this game, How many people coming into the season would have predicted the Atlanta Hawks win their first 2 games, both against playoff teams from last year in the Detroit Pistons and the Orlando Magic, and then come within inches of beating the Philadelphia 76ers as well? Trae Young in these first 3 games has been magnificent, to say the least. We're talking about a guy averaging 34 points per game on better than 50% shooting from the field and 50% shooting from beyond the arc to go along with 9 assists. 3 games. Yes, it's a small sample size, but this kid is out here doing things that I've only seen players like Stephen Curry do in recent years. I mean, it's crazy that this is a second-year guard, and not only that, but the Atlanta Hawks once again have been competing. It's different if he's putting up these numbers in games in which the Hawks are losing by 15 to 20 points. But if the Hawks are only losing to a team like the Philadelphia 76ers, a team that's favored to come out of the Eastern Conference this year, and then beating 2 playoff teams from last year, I can't be anything but impressed with the start that I've seen from that team. I can't be anything but impressed with the start that I've seen from the Atlanta Hawks. Moving on though, now to talk about a team that hasn't been doing so hot, and a young team that I really want to see do well, a young team that broke out into the scene last year, the Sacramento Kings. After they lost their first game of the season, I said it happens. After they lost their second game of the season, I said it happens. After they lost their third game of the season, I was like, they gotta win their next one. They didn't win their next one. They lost. Granted, it was to the Denver Nuggets, a very, very good team. But still, for the Sacramento Kings to start out their season 0-4, that is not the start that they were looking for. That's not the start that the organization, the players, or the fans were looking for. 101-94, the final score. Nikola Jokic didn't even play well in this game, was 4 of 15 from the field, only 9 points. And the Sacramento Kings still lost. Granted, I guess there is something to be said there about the Sacramento Kings being able to hold Jokic to only 9 points on 4 of 15 shooting, and that, I suppose, is what Luke Walton was happy about after the game. After the game, he wasn't too down about this loss, as he said that he was happy with the defense that his team was able to play. Now, even though the Sacramento Kings are losing, we do still have to remember that maybe the reason we're not seeing the same Kings team from last year is because this was only their 4th game under a brand new coach. A coaching change is not a very easy change to undergo for most NBA teams, especially a young NBA teams that had just gotten used to doing things another way. There's still a lot of games to be played, but overall, I'd still say that Luke Walton has to win at least around 45 games this year in order for his job to be considered safe with the Sacramento Kings, especially at the rate that they like to toss coaches. Other games of the night featured the New York Knicks getting their first win of the season, 105-98 over the Chicago Bulls. RJ Barrett playing another phenomenal game with 19 points and 15 rebounds, while Bobby Portis was huge on the bench with 28 points and 11 rebounds, and was also a perfect 4 of 4 from beyond the arc against his former team. The Detroit Pistons got their second win of the season over the Indiana Pacers, 96-94, to advance to 3-1 on the year. Andre Drummond, 18 points and 18 rebounds, and Luke Kennard getting his first action as a starter this year for Detroit, well-deserved, 14 points, including 9 of those coming late in the 4th quarter, leaving the Pacers still searching for their first win. The Milwaukee Bucks did as they were supposed to do and decimated the Cleveland Cavaliers, 129-112. Giannis Antetokounmpo kind of even took this game off, it seemed. He didn't play like the usual Giannis, but still the Bucks had 7 other players in double digits, including Middleton with 21 points and George Hill with 19 off the bench. The San Antonio Spurs remain perfect on the year with the 113-110 win over the Blazers. The Spurs surviving a huge late 4th quarter surge from Damian Lillard as he scored 18 straight points in the final 4 minutes and pulled Portland from back 15. The guy was going off and even had a couple of chances to maybe win it there for the Blazers. At the end, the Spurs just dodged a couple of bullets. DeRozan with 27 points for San Antonio. The Toronto Raptors were able to do what they did to the Orlando Magic in the playoffs last night and beat them 104-95. Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam absolutely dominating this game. Lowry with 26 points and 6 assists, while Siakam had 24 points and 9 rebounds. OG Anunoby also playing well with 12 points and 5 steals. You already knew that the Los Angeles Clippers were not going to lose this one. They beat the Charlotte Hornets 111-96. The Hornets keeping up in the first half, but not so much in the second. And after this game, Doc Rivers did say that they expect Paul George to be out for about 6 more games. So he's officially going to miss the first 10 games of the season, but hopefully he's back for that 11th. Kawhi Leonard, 30 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists, and the Clippers bench might go down as the greatest bench of all time. They still scored 50 points on a slow night. One of these two teams was destined to get their first win of the season last night. The Warriors still searching for their first win, as well as the Zion Williamless Pelicans still searching for their first win. And after the beating that they took last night against the Oklahoma City Thunder, you just know that the Golden State Warriors were going to come out looking for blood against whoever they played against next. And that's exactly what they did, as they kind of had no problem winning this game. Curry with 26 points and 11 assists. Draymond Green with a triple-double of 16 points, 17 rebounds, and 10 assists. As for the Pelicans, they're really missing Zion Williamson. For now, Brandon Ingram's trying to do his best to hold down the fort, and he looks really good. Put up 27 points, 10 rebounds, and 6 assists last night, but they still need someone else. The Pelicans really need Zion Williamson, and it sucks for them that they're gonna have to wait a whole 2 months to get him. And the last thing that we have to talk about today is Russell Westbrook playing his first game against his former team, his first game against the OKC Thunder. Now, this game wasn't in Oklahoma, this was in Houston, so it won't be as special as Russell Westbrook's first game back against the Thunder in Oklahoma, when there will be a whole video tribute, crying fans, it'll be a whole spectacle. But still, this was a good game, and it was also a game that I think showed finally that Russell Westbrook and James Harden will have no problem getting along in the backcourt together. James Harden can still be James Harden, if you know what I mean. 40 points, 21 of 22 from the foul line, 21 free throws made, 22 attempted. That is insane, but in my mind at least, that's also a skill. The dude puts in a massive amount of work, and the reason you don't see any other players attempting 22 free throws like this on a semi-regular basis is because no other player is James Harden. No other player puts the work in order to do this that James Harden does. And it's like an art that he has mastered down to its core. It's crazy, it's unbelievable, and even other players acknowledged it. I heard a few days ago a player talking about Harden and saying that nothing that happens for Harden is luck, that he's probably one of the most unlucky players, but he works his butt off and he has a ton of skills. So I got nothing but respect for the guy. Other than that though, Russell Westbrook in this game, 1 assist shy of a triple-double, 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 9 assists. And personally, I think that Russell Westbrook just didn't get a triple-double on purpose, so we could say that he got a triple-double against every other team in the NBA except for a team that he respects in the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now though, it's time for the player of the day, where you guys have the option to vote for who you think was the best player in the league last night by clicking the little eye icon in the top right hand corner of the video. That being said, here's a look at who we got for today. We got Kawhi Leonard and his 37 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. James Harden and his 40 points and 7 assists. DeMar DeRozan and his 27 points. Stephen Curry and his 26 points and 11 assists. Or Joel Embiid and his 36 points and 13 rebounds. As always, only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was none other than Ja Morant, the rookie who can say that he actually blocked Kyrie Irving, a feat that not many rookies, let alone NBA players period, are able to say that they've been able to do. That's gonna do it for today though, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Once again, go ahead and smack that like button, as it does help the channel grow, as well as make sure that you are subscribed to the channel so you don't miss out on videos like this 5 days a week. That is every Monday, almost not this over, through Friday. Other than that though, you guys already know that you are the real MVPs, but until tomorrow, keep getting to the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!